Hi, Timothy Carlson here, and I love the Sailor Moon anime and manga series. I've covered several things on my channel before, and if I ever find an unusual release or product related to the series, I like to pick it up and just see what I've got. Now, what I'm about to show you guys is definitely a bootleg, as I quickly discovered, and I just want to give a disclaimer. I don't condone bootlegging by any means. Support the studios and buy the official products because, that's how the people that should get paid do get paid. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and show off what I found here. This is simply listed as Sailor Moon 01. This logo on the spine here, I've never seen that logo on a Sailor Moon product, so pretty obviously a bootleg from that alone. And then here's the other side, just the part that folds open. Back cover there. And this is weird because the plastic slipcover here's got, Asian writing on it. I'm guessing that's Japanese. I'm not an expert on foreign languages, so please don't quote me on that. But yeah, you look down here and it says things like, it mentions English audio, 4:3 aspect ratio. That's correct for old Sailor Moon shows. It has a region all NTSC code. That's an immediate red flag when it comes to anything like this. But again, I'm curious, so let's see what we've got here. This plastic cover pulls off. I don't even know why this is there. There's nothing on it, but... And here's just what this looks like under the slipcover. Now, this fold-up part actually has the Sailor Guardians and the logo for the show. This logo was actually originally made for the 1990s aborted Toon Makers version of the show, but it was carried over to the official English dub, probably the only thing that survived from that release. I do actually kind of like the way that looks. And in here we have our cover here, and then you got 3 discs, each that has matching artwork underneath. Disc 1's got Sailor Moon, Tuxedo Mask, and Nephrite. Disc 2's got Sailor Moon and Sailor Jupiter. The art on these definitely looks a little off, another sign that these are bootleg discs. And then on this side we got Sailor Moon and Sailor Venus. Now, weirdly, the box called this set Sailor Moon 01, but then the first disc says Sailor Moon Volume 1, the second disc says Sailor Moon Volume 2, and the third disc says Sailor Moon Volume 3. So, probably should say Disc 1, Disc 2, Disc 3. And if this is set 01, is there an 02? And the biggest question of all, what is actually on these discs? This was a real big mystery purchase for me because, again, I buy the official releases and support everything official that comes out that the series does. That doesn't mean I won't dabble in a bootleg just out of curiosity to see what's on it. So I put in the first disc and it did not go to any menus, didn't have any copyright or FBI warnings. Again, another red flag, but the very first thing I saw was that crawl text that starts off the English dub. So I watched for a second and it turns out this is actually a set of the old English DiC Dub. Specifically, it's rips of the 6 discs that were put out by DiC in the early 2000s of the earlier dub. A lot of people have fond nostalgia for this dubbed version of the show, and what's here is essentially the first 6 DVDs that DiC released condensed into 3 discs. Sadly, there are no menus that you can get to with your menu buttons on your remote. To get to the actual chapter select menus, you have to fast forward all the way to the very end of the disc, which makes absolutely no sense. Those menus should be the first thing that come up. I have to say, it's nice to have a set that actually has the DiC Dub in it, and this covers 36 episodes, so it's pretty much the entire first season except for the last 4 episodes. Ironically, I just got the 7th volume of that at this same Zia Records store. This set cost me $11.99 at Zia Records on Eastern Warm Springs here in town, just so you have my proof of purchase there. So again, this release, it really sums up why I'm not a fan of bootlegs, not just because they don't support the proper creators, voice actors, animators, and so forth, but because they're shoddy products that are poorly made. I mean, this box actually doesn't look half bad for the most part, but I am disappointed to see that the menu feature is implemented so poorly, and it's just a pain to get to whatever episode you want to watch. So I have to say, if you see this set out and about, I strongly recommend just skipping over this and getting the official releases of the show. I guess you might have an affinity for this if you want to have the old DiC Dub in some shape or form, and those individual discs are too hard to hunt down. So it's not completely without merit, but again, it's a bootleg through and through, and so it's not something that I can genuinely recommend. Are you a fan of Sailor Moon, and what are your feelings on the old DiC Dub of the show? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content. I'm always posting new videos, and make sure you give this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm Taylor T. Carlson. I'll see you next time.